Good day and welcome. I'm Stefan with Trending Update USA, bringing you the latest breaking news from the world of professional tennis. In a development that has sent shockwaves throughout the tennis community, Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek, two of the biggest names in the sport, have been hit with a major setback after reportedly facing disciplinary action for missing key WTA tournaments. The decision, which could have significant implications for their rankings, season momentum, and even year-end standings, has reignited debate about the WTA's participation requirements, player scheduling freedom, and the growing pressures faced by top athletes in maintaining both physical health and tour commitments. According to multiple reports, both Sabalenka and Swiatek have been cited by the Women's Tennis Association for failing to fulfill certain mandatory tournament obligations, leading to penalties that may include the loss of ranking points and fines. The WTA, in its official statement, emphasized that all players are expected to comply with participation rules to preserve fairness, competitive balance, and the integrity of the ranking system. The ruling affects two of the sport's most influential figures, Sabalenka, the powerful Belarusian known for her fearless, hard-hitting game, and Swiatek, the calm, tactical Polish champion who has dominated women's tennis in recent years. Both athletes, accustomed to being near the top of the world rankings, are now facing the possibility of losing valuable ground in the competitive race for year-end supremacy. This latest development comes at a crucial point in the season, as the WTA Tour heads toward its final stretch, with key events determining player placements and qualifications for the prestigious WTA Finals. For Sabalenka and Swiatek, missing mandatory tournaments means forfeiting opportunities to earn crucial points and maintain their ranking stability. It also opens the door for rising stars to close the gap, creating a ripple effect that could dramatically reshape the top tier of women's tennis. Analysts have noted that while the WTA's rules are clear, the enforcement of these penalties has reignited a long-standing discussion about player workload, scheduling, and mental health in professional tennis. Aryna Sabalenka has been one of the sport's most dynamic and outspoken players, known for her raw power, intensity, and unfiltered honesty about the challenges of tour life. Over the past year, she has competed in numerous tournaments, frequently making deep runs and carrying the physical and mental toll that comes with consistent high-level performance. Similarly, Iga Swiatek has shouldered immense expectations as one of the most consistent performers on the WTA Tour. The Polish star, who rose to global prominence after multiple Grand Slam victories, is known for her disciplined preparation, humility, and meticulous approach to competition. However, even for players of their caliber, the relentless pace of the tour, combined with travel, training, and media obligations, can create scheduling conflicts that are difficult to manage. The WTA's participation policy is designed to ensure top players appear in the biggest tournaments, maintaining fan interest, television ratings, and sponsorship commitments. However, the balance between commercial obligations and player well-being has become increasingly contentious in recent years. Many players argue that the packed calendar leaves little time for recovery, particularly after Grand Slam events or international competitions. In Sabalenka's and Swiatek's cases, insiders suggest that physical fatigue and personal scheduling decisions may have influenced their absence from certain tournaments. Yet, the WTA's stance remains firm. All players must adhere to participation rules unless valid exemptions are granted. The reaction from the tennis community has been swift and divided. Some fans have expressed sympathy for Sabalenka and Swiatek, noting that their demanding schedules and travel commitments justify occasional absences. Others, however, argue that the WTA's strict enforcement of participation rules is necessary to ensure fairness for other players who consistently meet their obligations. Sports commentators have pointed out that while both players have legitimate reasons for managing their workload, skipping required events carries inevitable consequences under current regulations. The penalties, while severe, are consistent with previous disciplinary actions taken against other top-ranked players who violated participation policies. For Sabalenka, this setback comes at a time when she has been one of the most visible figures in women's tennis. Following a series of strong performances earlier in the season, she has become a global ambassador for the sport, known for her charisma and fiery on-court presence. Her fans, often vocal on social media, have expressed disappointment but continue to show unwavering support, emphasizing that Sabalenka's focus should remain on long-term performance and well-being. Swiatek's fans have reacted in a similar manner, rallying behind their star and defending her right to prioritize rest and mental health over a relentless playing schedule. The Polish champion, admired for her calm demeanor and introspective nature, has often spoken about the importance of maintaining emotional balance amidst the pressures of elite competition. Tennis analysts believe this controversy could spark further discussion about reforming the WTA's schedule. Many experts argue that the modern tennis calendar is too demanding, leaving little room for players to recover from physical strain or injuries. The WTA's insistence on mandatory participation, while understandable from a commercial perspective, may not align with evolving understandings of athlete health and sustainability. The organization has previously acknowledged these challenges but maintains that the participation structure ensures high-quality competition across all events, giving fans consistent opportunities to watch the world's best players in action. Financially, the consequences for missing tournaments extend beyond fines and ranking points. Endorsement opportunities and appearance fees are often tied to player rankings and visibility. A significant drop in points could potentially impact Sabalenka's and Swiatek's standings in future tournaments, affecting seedings and sponsorship dynamics. Industry observers note, however, that both players have built strong personal brands and will likely weather this storm without major long-term financial setbacks. Their reputations as elite competitors and global icons of women's tennis remain intact, despite this temporary hurdle. This incident also highlights the increasing role of athlete advocacy within professional tennis. Players such as Naomi Osaka, Ashley Barty, and others have previously stepped away from tournaments to focus on mental health and recovery, prompting important discussions about the demands placed on top athletes. Sabalenka and Swiatek, while facing disciplinary action, are part of a broader movement where athletes assert their right to balance professional obligations with personal well-being. Many within the tennis world are calling on the WTA to revisit its participation rules, arguing that greater flexibility could help sustain player health and extend careers without diminishing fan engagement. While neither Sabalenka nor Swiatek has released an official statement addressing the penalties, close sources suggest that both players are focused on regrouping, training, and preparing for upcoming events. Their teams are reportedly reviewing the WTA's decision and exploring whether appeals are possible. Historically, such appeals are rare and difficult to overturn unless procedural errors are identified, but both players are expected to continue competing at the highest level once they return to the tour. For now, the priority for both athletes remains maintaining physical readiness and mental composure amid the growing media scrutiny surrounding this controversy. The story has also sparked comparisons to previous cases in which top players were sanctioned for missing mandatory tournaments. Tennis historians point out that the WTA has, on several occasions, penalized even the biggest names to ensure consistent enforcement of its policies. These actions are part of a broader effort to maintain the credibility of the ranking system and prevent perceived favoritism. However, with the increasing emphasis on player welfare in recent years, many believe it may be time for a more flexible approach that recognizes the unique demands of the modern tennis tour. The timing of the penalties could also have major implications for the upcoming season-ending championships. With ranking points deducted, Sabalenka and Swiatek could face tougher draws or lose their positions as top seeds, potentially altering the competitive dynamics of the events ahead. Fans are already speculating about how this might affect matchups and tournament outcomes, with many hoping to see both stars return to form quickly and reassert their dominance on the court. For the WTA, the challenge will be balancing consistency in rule enforcement with empathy for the athletes who drive the sport's global popularity. Both players' careers have been defined by excellence and resilience. Aryna Sabalenka's rise to prominence has been fueled by her fearless approach to competition, her powerful serve, and her relentless pursuit of improvement. She has overcome numerous setbacks in her career, demonstrating time and again that she thrives under pressure. Similarly, Iga Swiatek's steady ascent to world number 1 has been marked by discipline, mental toughness, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. It is precisely these qualities that fans believe will help them rebound from this latest challenge. For the global tennis audience, this episode serves as a reminder of the complexities behind the glamour of professional sports. While fans see the victories, trophies, and celebrations, the reality for top athletes involves constant travel, physical exhaustion, and the ever-present pressure to perform. Balancing these demands with personal health and well-being remains one of the greatest challenges facing players today. The WTA's decision may be controversial, but it also underscores the ongoing tension between organizational expectations and the evolving needs of modern athletes. As the story continues to unfold, the world will be watching how Aryna Sabalenka and Iga Swiatek respond. Both have proven their ability to adapt and overcome adversity, and this situation will likely serve as another chapter in their journeys toward greatness. Whether this setback becomes a temporary obstacle or a turning point will depend on how they channel their determination and focus in the coming months. What remains certain, however, is that their influence on the sport, and their ability to inspire fans around the world, remains as powerful as ever. For now, the WTA stands firm on its decision, while fans await official statements from both players. This controversy has reignited critical discussions about athlete welfare, transparency in rule enforcement, and the future direction of professional tennis. As the season progresses, the actions taken by Sabalenka, Swiatek, and the WTA will shape not only their individual careers but also the broader conversation about balance, fairness, and the evolving relationship between athletes and governing bodies in modern sports.